Now entering the very last quarterfinal set. This is Sib versus Freyja. We have not seen Freyja play, as that was an admin win against Odin in the first round. And we just saw the maps. We have Gold Rush and Quarry banned. And then we have High Tides, Mudflow, Cross and Islands as picks. Lots of water maps here. This could be Istramondes and someone else. So, hybrid map pick there, hybrid map pick, hybrid map pick. What do you play for Arabia then? Maybe you play Aztecs or Gudjars for Arabia. Freyja, Chinese, that has to be the Arabia Civ, I think. Khmer should be good for several of the hybrid maps. Seems to be a sort of a variety of civs to use here, but let's say that we'll see Chinese Hans for Arabia then, unless Hans is for Cross, that could be it. I guess just dive into the first game of Civ versus Freyja. That's this one. Lithuanians Franks on Arabia. Cavalry matchup. Here we go. Civ playing as the Lithuanians, starting with 100 extra food and having faster moving pikemen and skirmishers. Immediately moving out to scout with a scout and with the pigs around here. Freyja as the Franks, also a cavalry civilization. If this ends up being a scouts war to begin with, then the Franks are at an advantage until the Lithuanian player can get bloodlines researched. Back stone for the Franks. You'd rather have back gold than back berets, I'd say. Berets quite forward for Franks. It's in the back for Civ, so advantage for scouts play there if that's your desired opening. It's good anyway against any opening because it's easier to keep it safe through walling or... yeah, it's just not as exposed to the earliest aggression. That's always an advantage. Going for the back board first. Did he scout the other one? Yes, found that one as well. Maybe just found it. We haven't seen a lot of laning in the Hidden Cup Norway, so it's probably going to be fine. Heavy food investment here. 8 on food for Civ with Lithuanians. Hasn't gone to wood at all yet. What's the reasoning for that? 9 on food. This is like the inverse of the Lithuanians hybrid map build, where you go just everything on food and then go for a lumber camp and mill later. In the mill you could of course delay as Lithuanians because you're not as dependent upon the berries early on. Missing the last few pigs here, also not setting back the Lithuanians significantly. 4 on wood already for Freyja, so Freyja looking like a scout's opening here. Rather than scouting for the last 2 pigs, Civ is investing more into the food situation. Not scouting all the way to the back there. That could backfire because there's 1 tile opening in the back of the base. Yeah, Civ doesn't want to take any chances here. Goes for the scouting in the around the back. Also still looking for those last 2 pigs that are just out of sight over to that side. A little bit of force dropping on food there for Freyja. Idle TC times on the low end for both our players so far. Franks foraging berries 15% faster as well. Always handy for food income for openings like opening with the scouts. Civ is committing a lot to wood here, but that's the stragglers while going up to the feudal age. Realizes that by clicking up this early for a 19 pop, a little bit of a alternative build order here. Did not place the barracks yet, but doesn't necessarily distress it either. So relies on straggler trees for reinforcing the wood income here. This could be an OG player like Tiger or someone else who's been around for a long time using the stragglers like that at this point in the game, rather than placing a lumber camp early. I don't know, I guess it's a means to get to the feudal age at a low pop and still have the food economy for several scouts, but always handy to have the straggler trees for usage later in the game as well, because you're going to risk having your economies contested by the opponent, right? And if you have something right next to a TC, that's a lot safer in the further game. Finally finds the last few picks as well. Maybe that was revealed after completing the barracks. Affording the stables should not be an issue. Freyja with 13 seconds of idle time and a 21 pop up here will be significantly behind to the feudal age. That's 1.5 minutes difference. That means that Civ will potentially have 3 scouts by the time Freyja starts creating the second one. Civ goes for the engagement as well. Feudal age far away for the Franks. Still means that the blue scout has more attack power. And yeah, not more hit points. That's the Franks once they enter the next stage. But yeah, as you can see, 2 more attack for blue. Nice reaction there from Freyja. Trying to quick wall in the villager on the outer wood line here, but Civ is on point, annoying with the scout here. Second scout in production for Civ. Look at that food economy as well. Pretty heavy on the berries. 6 on berries because no farms have been seeded yet. There are still pigs to be eaten because of that. So Civ is really benefiting from that additional food income from not food income, but the additional food to start with Lithuanians. Good choice of the Lithuanians to go up that early against the Franks, because that sort of negates the advantage that Franks have with the extra hit points. Now adding the spearmen as well, moving a little bit faster than generic ones. Whereas Freyja has changed plans and gone for a range here. Double range. Is that the plan all along? It's not even on gold. Not even on gold here. Is it going to be a scout skirmisher for the Franks then? Why double range? Why double range when you're not on gold? Now I'm confused. Now I'm truly confused as to what Freyja is up to here. 6 military to 3 for Civ. Military down on the woodland. Gonna be another one because that's sandwiched in between the scouts. No spearmen here for Freyja to deal with this. Oof, down 5 villagers at this point. Civ with much more consistent towns that they're producing, admittedly. Also got some idle this time, but nothing compared to Freyja, who has both eco upgrades, but does not have as low idle towns at the time as Civ. So the convincing economic lead for Civ here in this Arabia opening game. Alright, good quick calls. Working out this time around for Freyja. Has taken 3 Ecolosses. Seems to have lost 1 villager to Gaia early on as well. So lost 1 villager to Boar, which I missed in the early cast. That explains the late uptime for the Franks as well. That's a huge difference between the 19 and 21 pop, because the 1 villager went out to Boar as well. Freyja with the counter-attack now. Why skirmishers? Why double range skirmishers with Franks against Lithuanians? Skirmishers are like the least efficient raiding unit ever, and Spearmen probably the second least efficient raiding unit. Spear's not even engaging here. Save just casually following this army. I will be red! I will be red! Don't attack me, I'm with you! That should be so dead. But it's not. Mining camp 2 tiles away from the gold for Civ now, probably a mistake. Could be some hotkey issues. Just stressing our blue player out here. A very compact balling as well. So let's see who we're dealing with here. Tigers. Civ card is the least informative ever, but that's Nope's fault. He was the one signing up Tiger. So if Tiger wins the whole shit, Nope, that's your fault. Then we have Snippy, who says scouts are better than archers. This was definitely a scouts opening. So Snippy comes to mind here, gone to gold now, whoever this player is. Have you seen Tiger theme song for us? Theme song for us? No. I don't know that song. And let's see if we have any more knights in here. Likes Night Civs, hates Britons. So the draft kinda checks out for Andy here, yes. And the banter is real. Let's see the skirmishes here. Franks now convincing through the economy behind this. Got some more spears to defend against any further cavalry from Civ. Wheelbarrow coming in for the 16 farms of Civ. Usually you want to get wheelbarrow after 14 farms or more. Definitely setting up for a Knight's follow-up in the Castle Age here for the Lithuanians. Looks like Freyja might click up earlier, but at the expense of a lower economy behind that. No wheelbarrow and also lots of villagers behind. Men-at-Arms added for Civ. That's an interesting one, but it works against the skirmishers and spears. So Civ just reacting accordingly, making units that effectively counter both of the types of units currently on the field. We have some counter raids with the Men-at-Arms are actually committing big time to the Feudal Age here, Civ. I thought we were going to see a Castle Age transition, but no, he's keeping the aggression up here with Men-at-Arms, which probably comes unexpectedly to the Franks and getting some juicy villager kills in here as well. 4 villagers killed by Civ so far. Nope refuses to acknowledge that he is... What was it? 4? So we're just going to have to believe Nope on that for now. One builder moving forward is forward for Civ, as Castle Age is on the way, which means we might see a forward seed workshop on the hill here, monasteries as well, possibly. Four Men-at-Arms from the blue player. Not going to be able to contest the gold from this area. No attack upgrades whatsoever. And I think it's just a misleading sort of mind games play here by Civ trying to force Freyja to react to the infantry investment, but there are double stables from Freyja as well. So Freyja also going to follow up the Castle Age with cavalry. I was planning to go 50 militia in my first game, Daddy. But the hotkeys made it really difficult for me. I did make infantry though. Lots. Which we've seen in many games. Two builders forward for Civ. Now in the castle age. Somehow keeping up with the castle age timing of Freyja, even with more intense military investments here. Forward siege workshop coming up. Knights in production as well. We'll need a monastery from the Lithuanians as well to start collecting the relics, but because that gives a attack boost to the knight line units and lightis, +1 attack per relic up until 4 relics. So that's definitely something you'll want to collect. 41 villagers to 35 here. It's 1 town center for both of the players. And certainly not a fight you want to take to the Lithuanians here. Bloodlines is in, yes, but Freyja has better upgrades and has more knights. We need a monastery here from Civ to get some conversions in and sway the numbers of the red player. Oh, now we get the forward monastery. We have Mangonel out as well. That's going to be perfect to contest this gold of Freyja over here, because the other golds of Freyja are so far out. If you manage to deny this gold, then a lot is done, because you have the mobility of knights to deny the other 2 gold spots, which Civ has scouted as well. So Civ has full control, full knowledge over Freyja's golds. Knights numbers comparable, however 2 more upgrades for Freyja, so Freyja in the upgrades lead here, so to speak. Thirteen, knights dead even. Looks like, is it triple stables for both of them, or is it just the amount of knights in the queue? No, it's double stables for both of them, so similar approach. Booming is overrated. Booming isn't fun. Hates additional thesis, says OG Daddy about this playstyle. And he also likes to play all in knights. So that fits the description here for both players, so both of these players are Daddy. Maybe it's Daddy versus Andy. Two monks. But the monastery is pretty far away from the relics, really. But looks like we're still gonna be able to collect some of them. 1 relic now in, which means +2 attacks total for the knights. Better attack upgrades than the red ones now. Uh-oh. This is dangerous, because these could actually get walled in by just 1 tile of stone gate and 1 stone wall in the back here. I don't think Freyja is gonna get in there. Why does Freyja go here to try to punch through? Go for the palisade gate, even if it's close to the TC. When you have a little bit of armor, that's the weaker spot. Go for the production buildings, go for the palisade gates, do something smarter. Unless you're suspecting they're only using the market here, and that's not the pinnacle of Civ's economy here. Strong forward pressure as well. Look at all these monks. Whoa. 5 monks, sanctity as well. But scouts, as a reaction from Freyja there, tries to, nope, does not go for the monks, tries to go for the monks. 3rd monastery. Whew. Scary stuff if you're the Franks player here. You have more knights, but that's going to change quickly if the monks get their conversions in 2, 3. gonna leave this here. Yeah, fully walled home base. No stone wall stone. No sign of any stone walls. And that's it. That's actually the GG fight. No knights left for Freyja. Siv takes the fight convincingly and ends up with massive military lead over Freyja, and actually the economic lead as well, and they're both 1 TC. So whoever has the numbers here is in a very good spot. Well, Siv, the monk player from last set, didn't... Let's go back to the... Siv played versus Loki. I don't recall that set perfectly, so I'm not sure if there were lots of monks there. I have to go back and check that one. This was the skirmishers, spears push happening here, getting some stuff done. Economy convincingly ahead for the Lithuanians here. Never got hit at home base. Early walling, consistent compact walling as you see here. Kept any mobility aggression from the Franks away. But now we're going to the hybrid maps fun. So we're going to Freyja's maps. Cross or islands coming up next. Hybrid map or water map. No choice there. But it's spent Lithuanians. So Lithuanians is a very good one for cross. Though arguably better for lakes. So we have go to the draft as well, collect Lithuanians winning against the Franks for Arabia, and see if it's going to be islands or cross next. Completely screwing up everything here. Why is it high tides now? Doesn't matter. It's the second game. Let's go for high tides. Oh, we have regicide. We have the first regicide. Amazing. High tides regicide. It's in the rules. You are allowed to invoke regicide as the game mode of choice anytime in a best of set. Once for each player. Once for each player. And this reinforces the Snippy theory, because Snippy likes to play scouts. Scouts better than archers. And now he's gone for... Now we're going for a regicide start, so maybe we'll see some king snipe shenanigans here. Regicide to start with more resources, but less gold. 0 gold, in fact. So you can't really get loom early. Shouldn't matter so much, because you start with a castle, lots of population space. And speaking of, by the way, we have Khmer versus Italians here. Yes, Freyja first set was the won the admin wins. Round of 16 admin win. The players are using the kings and I think we have the queen as well to scout. If the queen dies, you're perfectly fine. But if the king dies, you are out of the game and GG. So we have regicide. We also have a dock up north for Freyja. Nice and early dock there for the Khmer. Wants to capitalize on the fish food income over here. Kings move so fast. 132 movement speed. Makes it so much easier to scout the map, especially when you have the queen moving almost equally as fast as well. And you're starting scout. And since you start with the castle... And... wait. Did they not start with a scout here? Did they start with a queen instead of a scout? Is that it? I don't see any scouts. That might actually be good for balance, not to have the scouts in addition to that as an offensive unit. But yeah, didn't thoroughly test regicide as the game mode for Hidden Cup maps. Just tested that it actually spawns properly on the map. Fishing ships out for the Khmer. Nice and early food age here because you start with extra food, among other things, on ready side mode. That's going to boost the food economy, make it easier to get to the next age more quickly and smoothly as well. Freyja did not go to gold yet. Neither did Civ, so any early aggression here. Oh, that's a great castle on the gold. That's a lucky castle spawn for Civ, actually. Such a safe gold here. Good mining camp placement as well. Good scouting for the wolf of them, but better scouting for Civ, I'd say. King now safely garrisoned inside the castle, while if you lose the queen, that doesn't matter, so she can keep scouting. Uh-oh. I think losing villagers in the Dark Age is Freyja's thing. That's the second time, the second game in a row it's happened. Lots of scouts to handle here, kings and queens moving about, and with the feudal age kicking in for the Khmer, Civ is rushing back home to hide inside of the castle so as to not be chased by enemy scouts around the map and lose just out of the blue. Yeah, queen possibly going to go on to castle fire here, shouldn't matter, because yeah, it's the king that needs to die, not the queen, so don't really need to do much about that. Yeah, why do you think I made it an option? Just for fun, huh? I made the rules. Why wouldn't I use it if I made the rules? Would I lose vills in Dark Age? I don't do that often. Not to bore. I don't think I do that all that often. Except for Nomad and stuff like that, when you have to do the long lures. So both kings safe inside the castle. Civ going castle age. Freyja as well, doesn't need any buildings to click up, mind you. So that's a castle age lead for Freyja. If we're seeing cav archers and petards here, that's Snippy confirmed. Italians doesn't fish, but makes water real tree. I mean, Civ scouted that dock quite a while ago, so you need to clear the water first, and then you can start fishing. So it makes sense to make military first here, I think. It's going to be the castle age, about 40 seconds ahead for Freyja here. Barracks! Dude, have you forgotten your Khmer, or what's going on here? What the hell? Yeah, someone's forgotten their Khmer. You don't need barracks to unlock other buildings as the Khmer. Civ walling off a bit, further securing that gold, so clever walling here to make the gold safe. Petards! Lots of petards! Okay, now either have someone impersonating Snippy, or this is 100% Snippy confirmed. This is such classic Snippy regicide approach here. But it's forgotten his Khmer. You don't need the barracks as the Khmer to make the cavalry archers. You could just make two archery ranges instead. But yeah, petards here. The petards are there to break the castle. And the ranges are here to make the cavalry archers to more easily snipe the king. That's the approach. Naval situation is just, you know, that was just to get to the castle age, right? So Freyja doesn't really mind that much anymore. Well, Civ has made Genoese crossbowmen from the castle there. I mean, you have the castle. Why use any other production buildings if you have the castle already? No lumber camp here. That's probably going to be a second TC. Yep. Let's have a look at Blue's scouting here. Definitely got lots of vision here, Civ. Got armies all over the place. Spreading the Genoese out to just get some vision, see what's happening. Sees the flag on the castle. That could just be the king, of course. Yeah, I don't think cavalry archers are meant to be massed as a unit to do damage here. It's more about using the petards to take out the castle. You need 8 petards to take out the generic castle, and then he has some extra ones just in case some of them don't make it. And then the cavalry archers are only there to be on standby, be ready with ballistics by the looks of it, to snipe the king while he tries to run away. Houses, yeah. Well, we haven't been needing houses for the first 15 minutes, so I can see how it's easily forgotten. Eight Genoese across the map here, 3 fire ships as well. Italians now making the fish to double up on that economy situation. Freyja, 21 villagers against Civ's 41. Looks like the petards are moving out and hiding away from the Genoese. 11 petards, 4 or 5 cavalry archers. Yeah, we're not even gonna really afford ballistics here if that was the idea of the university, because the Genoese crossbowman is they're guarding every resource here, they're surrounding everything. Let's see. Civ only knows the castle location, does not know that the walls are there. But I mean, 1 petard, definitely enough to punch through there, so we still have enough petards to take out both the walls and the castle, unless Civ reacts immediately and re-walls and obstructs the petard's access to the castle foundation. This is a hit or miss situation. Either it works, you snipe the king and you win the match, or this doesn't work and you're set back so far that you just no way you're recovering. Let's see. Civ is about to see 11 petards pounding towards the wall. No, oh, it's taking a long way around. No, yes. Yeah, Civ is like, what the hell is going on here? He doesn't have any economy. What's he doing? Oh, oops. Hello. Base 2. Oh, cam archers need to be in front of the petards. 8 petards, 7. No, it's not enough. It's not enough to take out the castle. I don't think it's enough. Oh! No! Oh, lost a few too many. Had to use 1 petard to get through the wall as well, and that's all Civ needed to take the advantage. In this game, got a nice little warning there. I should have sent more petards. Or use the cavalry just to distract castle fire, possibly. Good attempt though. If this is Snippy, he certainly hasn't made any efforts to try and hide. But yeah, could have sent more villagers forward as well, why not? See, with 33 kills though, maybe there weren't that many units left to bring forward. 15 units total. Or 15 builders, sorry. Economy situation surprisingly close. 1500 resources difference. Up times, yeah, decent castle shining there. So we can cross off high tides on the list, and Italians winning against the Coureur, which you might see in the regular matchup as well. Now it's time for the third game, likely on Civ's home map in this case. But we just played Civ's home map, so they must have messed up the home maps somehow here. Hold on. Civ went for the regicide option here. Not Freyja. So Civ picked regicide. Even though the whole map should have been Freyja's, but the rules say that's the alternative picking, yeah. Loser of game 1 picks home map, game 2. So it should have been Freyja's home map. So maybe we'll need to disqualify Civ. Anyway, let's go to the third game. It looks to be like the skill gap leans in Civ's favor anyway. So let's have a look at game 3. Islands. Which was definitely Civ's home map. Let me check those home maps again, sorry. Just for... Freyja, Islands, and Cross, Civ, High Tides, and Mudflow. Okay, so at least we get the Freyja home map now, that's fine, that's fine. Oh. Should have been the other way around, but might not have made that much of a difference. Let's have a look. It is Islands, and since it's hidden cup maps, it's the remnants of 3 archery ranges on a neutral island here. One of the T90 channel beams from his early days as a player, his first tournament. Japanese for Civ. Maybe not the best Islands map, but definitely up there. Already slaughtering 2 pigs, which is setting back the food income a little bit for the early game. But Civ is probably going to push in all of the deer and bring in the boars and have those faster working Japanese fishing ships. So might not be a huge deal. Freyja with Portuguese here. The only civilization in the game that theoretically will have unlimited access to resources on islands maps, because they have the Feitoria, the unique building that generates a trickle of all resources as you build it. It also takes 20 population space for balance issues, but on islands it's OP in stalemate games, because eventually only one player will have access to resources, and the other one might run out of wood, gold, and everything. Portuguese naval armies also have extra hit points, and they have some Karak as one of the unique technologies that boosts the defense, I believe, of some of their naval units as well. Caravel as a unique ship, mostly situational, but works very well against the Vikings longboats. Okay, one freaking tile of black here, where the sheep or the pigs are hiding for Freyja. That's unfortunate. 4 on wood. It's probably going to be 5 for Civ, right? Even with the Japanese wood savings. I kind of like that. Looking at the water placement, it looks like it's going to be a backdock to me as well. This might be a very decent... I mean, the Civ doesn't see the deep fish here, but if you dock here, You have very short traveling distance to two tiles of deep fish here. Which will, again, really boost your early game food economy. But yeah, he's docking the front, so never mind what I just said. Wants to go aggressively here. That's not a good dock in terms of travel distance and attacking. But with the Japanese, arguably eco bonus with the wood savings from resource drop-offs, Japanese might still be ahead to the fuel edge here, which is the most important thing on full naval maps like Islands. It's to be up nice and early and able to get your attacking ships up early. Alright. Couple of fish for the Japanese. No fish as of yet for Freyja, even though the dock is up. Must be having some wood struggles here. Does have enough wood to drop a new dock? Maybe it's a hotkey issue, because there's plenty of wood. Unless there's a landing in planning here. Maybe Freyja wants to land and drop a barracks and stable or range, which certainly could work on islands as well. Force dropping some food there. And Loom kicked in as well, so that kind of confirms the landing, doesn't it? No, there's some fish being made actually. So could be a little bit of an oversight, but yeah, Loom. Unless it was to ensure that the TC didn't go idle, then this is indicative of a landing for sure. Let's see if there's any transport going to happen. No Loom for Civ. So, not gonna see any landings from the blue player, now going to gold. Just enough wood to drop the second dock as well, which should be placed before 67-ish% of the fuel age. That should be fine. That's gonna complete before the fuel age starts. And here's the transport. Nice. That's going to set put the Japanese off their game a little bit, perhaps. See, Japanese did Loom as well. No. Oh, now it's on the way. So it's been on the queue for the next. Okay, Scout and 4 villagers. Is this a towers play? Men at Arms towers? No, nothing was down here. Just a lot of villagers going over. Maybe it's just an extra security for Freyja here. It's taking a long way around as well. And Civ is just going to see right through that, isn't he? Oh! That was 2 tiles. Did he spot the transport? It's not reacting. It's not reacting. With that said, the galleys are out for Civ, so the few fish that are here for Freyja, they are going to go down. Civ is going to have full naval control. However, Civ did not spot the landing. And will have to react to whatever's going to happen on land here as well. Just now placing outposts. Oh, that's a horrible range. You just wall the archers out here and force them to take the long way around. Hello, Lonzo Wall. Thanks for the raid. This is the Norwegian Hidden Cup, which is also the 6th season of the AOE Norway League. Yep, there's the galley taking out the fish. Not much Civ can do about that. Might even lose the shore fishing villager. Eco situation looks somewhat similar. But that's about to change rather quickly. Archers in the making. Villagers just idling out. Because of having to react at home base, maybe? One thing is for sure is that Civ certainly isn't overreacting to the pressure. Getting some outpost out just to try and spot the landing now sees the second range, okay. But do we have a blacksmith somewhere? Not really. Oh, there is someone stone as well. So Freyja is attempting to go both archers and towers here, as Civ is kind of panic walling a little bit here. Let's see if the archers can reach their target before the walls can complete here. Towering the stone, that makes sense. It's just that Civ has stone in the back here as well. So that's going to be harder to deny when not familiar with the scouting situation over here. Oh, there's naval investment. Freyja is making everything. Freyja is making freaking everything here. Who is Papaya? But no fletching. Good income on the low side for double range production here. Gold income as well. 3 on stone for some towers. That provides a point of refuge for the archers. You could also garrison archers inside the towers for additional fire output. Could deny this gold with the tower, denying the berries, which is also forcing farming. They're just naming fruits. Maybe we'll name all the players after fruits if you do a hidden cup again. Preemptive tower on the woodland there for Civ. I like that. That effectively denies Freyja entrance to this side as well because of the tower fire in this direction. Could break through here perhaps. It looks like the fire galley didn't succeed in took out one galley perhaps. I'll say that much. Civ is definitely not overreacting here. Has that consistent economy working. 8 fishing ships, 33 villagers, whereas Freyja has only 29 villagers and no fish. So massive economic advantage for Civ. Looks to be able to reach the cast stage well ahead of Freyja as well, which means he could produce a few knights to clean up this pressure, maybe some siege weapons, maybe just a couple of mangonels. Got lots of options here, and it's walled off efficiently here as well. Freyja doesn't even know that the town center is over here, so once he breaks through, that's going to be a little bit of an unpleasant surprise when trying to move forward. 3 minutes idle TC, Papaya Pete confirmed. Nope, this is not Papaya Pete. I refuse to believe that that's the case. Papaya Pete would scout these 2 pigs. And have eco upgrades. I'll show Sneaky's player card here again. Scouts are better than archers, but this is archers, not scouts. So now I'm confused. Market's coming out from Civ, which means you could buy food for cast stage as well, as Freyja is trying to do as well, trying to get to the cast stage through market trades here, pretty heavy on the gold. Actually, you could pass underneath this town center because there aren't any farmers around here. So if you eventually break through here somehow, then you might still be able to do some damage. Civ, however, heavy on the stone, gonna click cast stage soon, will get that defensive castle up most likely. We're finally through cast stage on the way. It's vulnerable. It's a vulnerable time for Civ, but with this tower going up there, once again preemptively keeping the archer's aggression out. Freyja haven't done too much in terms of aggression here. Could try to focus the galleys with archers if need be. Has villagers inside of the tower. Maybe we also try and push with siege in the castle age, but there's an issue at home base for Freyja. There's also a heavy stone mining. Might need to place a castle defensively at home when this landing aggression happens. That's going to be just a few knights for Sib, and that could be enough to essentially take out all of Freyja's economy here. There's only that one barracks at home base. Yeah, this is concerning. Their castle age timings are only 20 seconds apart. It's a double stable for Sib here. 14 on food, 7 on gold, so it's not going to be that many knights. Then again, you don't need knights at home to clean this up. The archers haven't been doing anything. You can see they have 0 kills. There it is for Freyja, first to the castle age. Might want to use these villagers for a castle, but might also need that castle defensively at home, but the landing aggression of the Sib hasn't been spotted yet. Siege workshop and 2 stables. Somewhat similar to the previous game from Sib over here. And Freyja still has no idea, unfortunately. No outpost on Freyja's side, whereas Sib has perfect knowledge of the right hand side of the map and has full vision on the left hand side through buildings as well. That castle is a bit hard to deny for Sib though, so that's something. The very compact base is about to be crippled a little bit by Freyja's forward castle, but just a few knights forward from Sib might be exactly what's needed here to take Freyja completely out of the game. Doesn't really have any gold for monks, even though the monasteries are up. Now tries for a town center on the main gold over here. Quick wall, the villagers building them, needs another quick wall over here if that's going to work, and over here. But Sib now with forward villager dropping 1 tower here. It's not going to deny that easy. It's going to need to bail on that tower, but a couple of more mangonels here, and these town centers should be history. Villagers going down as well in the building process. Mangonel gets another hit, but not a kill. Tower, will it complete though? I mean, it should be within range, shouldn't it? So Freyja could take this one out with the town center fire, or maybe it's just not quite there. Tower almost complete, but not nearly enough. And look at Freyja's economy. There's nothing here. Nothing to do. And even with the forward castle for the Portuguese on this side, what are you going to do with the castle if all of your economy at home base goes down? Heaven Knights, 1 mangonel and a tower as well. This TC goes down, but that's not going to matter too much. That could be rebuilt further back for Civ. Transport over some more villagers as well. I'm going to add some more towers. It's Japanese, so if you get the castle up, you could research Yasama for the Japanese as well and get extra firepower from the towers. Good for map control that. But this effectively denies the main gold of Freyja. Freyja would need to move over here for the secondary gold, but yeah. We can all see where this game is going, right? Civ is in complete control of this one. And Freyja is just holding on and desperate to do some damage forward there. Did afford 1 organ gun, but that's about it. Look at the economy here. 19 on wood, 4 on gold, and that's all there is to it. 24 villagers, half of the villager count of Civ. The thousands are about to be eaten. We only have +1 for the knight, but you don't really need +2 in this case. You need something maybe to handle the monks, as the monks numbers have increased here. But it's going to take some serious luck to convert all of the knights here as well for Freyja, because one of the knights are certain to get close enough. Pulls away. Civ actually does not consider making any scouts or light cav here. Organ Gun's not really doing anything. That castle doesn't do all that much, as Civ gets a university as well. Maybe wants to get ballistics for the towers or something. Freyja now left without a town center. Has some villagers forward still. All 4 landing villagers still alive, which I would consider an accomplishment at this point. I guess if you... yeah, you could afford a TC here, but then again Civ has full vision of this side of the map. So it's not really going to do much for you unless you place the TC over here underneath Cattle Fire. And wood is still going to be an issue, as there is nowhere to seek refuge for Freyja at this point. Still try to get some conversions here. Freyja down to 41 population against Civ's almost 100 here. I can't imagine that Freyja would be able to afford redemption here. All the monsters are down. Guard tower now in for Civ. Just slowly creeping up towards the map here. And we are going to have a second castle into GG, or a second unfinished castle into GG. We'll see. Guard tower almost sniping that castle foundation, but we seem to be just fine. It's 1700 score to 5159 here. And Freyja is going to play until the bitter end here. I think Civ is just wondering, why are you wasting my time? Come on. Call it already. Portuguese are strong on islands, but not that strong. Not when they're not controlling water, no. 2 docks? Maybe to double up on the transport production here, but we still have some galleys out there for Civ as well. So even if you try to transport over and attempt a base trade here, I'm not convinced that's going to work for Freyja, losing essentially all of the home base. Uh-oh, 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 it's an execution! Fire galleys on point. Galleys gonna be pulled over as well, perhaps. Castle forward did complete for Freyja, but Freyja now down to 22 villagers and 19 military, wherever that military is. These archers haven't been used for ages. Did get some conversions in on the knights, but not enough to survive here. Just going to attempt to board the transport ship yet again, and that's going to be... could also pose issues with the transport ship bug here when you're unloading them, but we'll see. Fire galleys might actually snipe them while trying to escape. No! It's going to be 5 villagers burning up before they can cross to the other side, and a block from Civ as well. Expertly blocking the transport from moving there, and that's going to be 7 villagers dying in the middle of the sea there for Freyja. Oi, oi, oi. At this point, the only thing Freyja has left is 2 castles and 5 villagers, and these villagers are going for a very aggressive watchtower rush on these 2 guard towers over here to desperately try and deny Civ's gold access. GG, good luck in semis, says Freyja. Ends with a 3-0 for Civ. Convincing this play here by the blue player. So let's have a look at the military progression here. It's 56.8 KD. Army high comparable, but Freyja's landings maybe landed at an awkward spot. Could have had a better place to land, but that's how landings work. It's a bit of a risk game. Eco obviously well ahead, most if not all of the game for Civ here. Civ Castle Times comparable as well. That's the Japanese fishing ship economy doing some proper work here. I wonder if we could... No. Yeah. Yeah, we see the fishing ships here, blue fishing ships, consistently working and bringing in that bonus food that red doesn't have access to at all after losing the first two. And that wraps up the quarterfinals. Let's make sure we show the Japanese winner against the Portuguese there. Would maybe have favored Portuguese, but Freyja's landing didn't quite work out. Maybe Saracens would have been a better landing sim. What do I know? Means that that's a convincing 3-0 for Civ in the quarterfinals. Moving on to face Laovi in the next one, which they have hopefully already scheduled. We have Hell versus Vale in the other semi-final as well. And considering all these 4 sets were sweeps, maybe we're in for some interesting matchups in the semi-finals here with more games played. Remains to be seen, of course, but we'll get back to that once they have been played and are ready.